Hey everyone, got a new one for you. So the last time I recorded one of these videos, I was looking at new fab assets, and before that I was working on items, and I'm happy to say that since then I have not had to do anything with items again. They still work. I should probably remove that debug text, and this might look a little different. I have like areas for where I'm going to be working on some of the different functionality, but the thing I've been working on the most lately is computers. So because this is like a narrative exploration game where you're going to be walking around like a closing down game company, kind of like exploring and discovering and figuring out kind of some stuff. I don't want to go too much into it. Um, I need like there's basically a lot of things you're going to be interacting with, and one of those things is like items, and one of those things is going to be computers. And so what I have here is a computer interface, and it's like and I have like a chat and a email, and if I bring up email, it's like I've gotten all this to work, um, and as well as Slack. Well, I'm calling it Skype. Messages where you can kind of like have messages and things. And there's a lot of things here that you can kind of notice. It's just like one, there's icons, that the text is all here. It's not super pretty, but it sure works. And so what you can see here kind of is like things are organized, like they're sorted correctly. That there's like specific things here for names. So it's like if it's more than one, more than two names, it's like I have like special formatting here. There's also threads, so that I can actually just sort of have email or these like Slack, these Skype threads, and just have them kind of be you can like scroll through it and then like go into something specific. Yeah, like the text kind of clips. I haven't fixed that, but it, but the but all the information, all the data is there, which is really what I was trying to do. And so this is actually a pretty complicated system. I built it before, but this time I've had to rebuild it. And in case it's of help, I'll kind of like start to expose a little bit of how this is actually built. So what I have is in computers, I have data tables, and so these are all of the data tables, the structs and data tables I've created that enable me to sort of work with all of this. And so like if I go to the Sky messages, these are all of the messages that I have in the game right now. And so I have channel ID, parent, parent message ID. This is for determining like the threads. Channel is how it gets sorted, like if it's into a specific channel with like that's called like art or general or whatever, or what category it is. And so and then this is the messages, and then in the other table I have Sky channels. And so this one sort of says its row name and what type it is. Um, and then its display name, all this stuff, and its participants. And so it's like this kind of controls like which computer or which part of Sky, who has access to what part of Sky. And then this part determines what is all the actual content to show within any of those channels or direct messages. Maybe this table ends up getting broken up and I'll need it for like one data table per like channel if the messages get really, if I get into like the thousands and tens of thousands, if it gets just too much to parse. But right now I just have it as one table, and I'll worry about that when I get to it. uh so and other things you'll see here is I have here like sort of rich formatting for like bold here, that's how you do bold, or I have like image ID slight smile. That is so that I can do things like so that's Sky images. So that's things like this. So it's like a slight smile, and then it's like, and it has this image. And that's how that's how I've kind of like created like the ability to have like emoji. Right now I only have slight smile, but I'll add whatever I need to add. I just wanted to make sure I could even do it. I knew how it worked. Then then finally it's like this is a column that like took a lot of work to sort of get rolling, but this is called the epic game second. And so if like if you know like the Unix epic or epoch second, which I think is like January 1st, 1970, it counts seconds from there, and that's what I've done here. So what I've done is like each of these is 1 second from January 1st, year 2000. No event in the game takes place earlier than year 2000, so I just set a new epoch so that the numbers are a little smaller than if they were going back 30 additional years. And so how that ends up working is like every time I take a game second, I bring in a game second, and then I have to parse it into a whole bunch of stuff. And so like I make a time, this kind of like helps set the epoch, and then I add time to it, which is the count of seconds, and then I break it, and then I do all kinds of stuff on that break. So it's like here it's like like I get the modulo like hour value, and this is for getting what the actual like hour is to show. I do things for if the hour is over 12 or not for AM PM. I do stuff for minutes to try to, because you have to like, because the way the minutes is it's like one, if it's like 5 minutes then it's not 0 5, it's just 5. So if you want it to look the same as everything else, you have to pad it with a 0, which is why you have this append right here. There's just a lot of stuff here to do. But basically what this means is that I don't have to do anything beyond just knowing when the message or the email takes place in terms of an epic game second, and then I can just bring that in. And the reason I wanted to do it this way is because this way I can end up taking a timestamp game conversion, and I can do something like I can just put in a value, and then I can get the associated value I want, and here then I can like use functions like this in Google Sheets in order to create the actual data that's going to go into the game. And then I can do things like re-import and then just re-bring in the file. And so it's like it's really as simple as that. So you do something like channel, then re-import with new file, and then you take your CSV file, and it has to match the structure properly, but then it's just like it just auto imports. One thing I will say that I've learned from this is when you do it this way, do not do arrays, just because I've had trouble doing it. I have had examples where it works, but in my use case, I just try to keep it as single records. And so what this looks like, so it's like what is it, Sky messages. So if I bring up Sky messages, it's like this is just the data structure. And so I just make sure I use this, and then inside Google Sheets, I have the same structure, and so I can just import and just make it work, and it's really cool. So this is how I'm gonna like sort of start to manage all of the data inside the game. This isn't a tutorial, so I'm not gonna like really try to like walk someone else through precisely what I've done in order to let someone else build it. But if you are watching this for that purpose, hopefully this gives you some ideas. And so this way, with all of this data, it's now kind of easy to create, easy to use, and can walk up, see a desktop. I mean, right now it's blank, but I intend to get some stuff in here. And you as the player will be able to like look around, see these different emails, check out threads if you want, check out emails, and start to explore what's happening with this game studio. Phew, all right, this is a big feature, and I'm really glad that it's getting close to being done. It's taken a lot of work to kind of redo, but it's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of it. And I wanted to show y'all what I've been working on. Thanks. Talk to y'all later.